Well, ladies and gentlemen, seeing the fact that the night traffic is starting to get restless, and on top of that, we got a couple of those games to play before we set up for the Indie Radio Arcade, we might as well bring Music Village for this week to an emphatic close. But don't worry, if you miss anything for this week's edition of the show, we got you covered. Because you can catch this show again one more time, all the time, on our SoundCloud, Facebook, or even Tumblr pages, all named the same, only known as Music Village Radio under the hashtag MusicVillage283. And according to the maestro, with my skills, I could probably get through 283 games prior to us doing the Indie Radio Arcade. Oh, you think I'm that good? Thank you. And if you guys want to figure out what other crazy and zany things that we still got prepared for this month of horror, like me playing a whole bunch of games throughout the entirety of the night only to do a show in the morning, you can go ahead and check it out on our YouTube/Twitter pages still named the same, only known as the Double O Agent 0012. And before we head out for the night, we would like to thank, as always, you the fans out there for listening in to another day and night monstrous primetime traffic edition of Music Village. And if you guys and girls out there like what you heard, go out there and spread the word. You know what? Like the sheriff and the deputy in the movie The Crazies after they figured out what's really going on in the town. Yeah, you know, PR department knows where I'm going with this, and they're giving me the thumbs up before taking a long drink of water. Put that water down! Don't drink that water! Man, thank goodness I was able to warn you guys in time, but thank you for the thumbs up regardless. And we would also like to thank you, the independent artists out there, for delivering that musical goodness like you always do. And here's hoping, like always, during this spooky month, your music can get featured during some form of independent horror film that we may or may not mention in the near future. And by the way, we need to start mentioning more indie horror movies on the show. Yeah, maybe in the future. But speaking of indie music that was featured during horrifying situations, we would like to thank our musical guest for this week, none other than Darren Curtis, with his song, A Method to Madness, that was featured during this week's edition of the DJ Smokey's Tales from the Disc. And as always, Darren, keep up the great work, and we can't wait to hear what you got coming down the tubes next to bring our horrifying stories to life. Almost like Frankenstein. Yeah, good metaphor for that. And finally, last but not least, we would like to thank you, the independent gamers out there, for delivering those sweet, sweet games that we didn't have a chance to talk about during this show, but don't worry, we will make up for lost time for the Indie Radio Arcade this upcoming weekend by mentioning a whole slew of them. Trust me. And I guess with everybody thanked, you guys out there know we go out. I'm DJ Smokey on behalf of the maestro saying, you know what? What? We're in trouble. But most importantly, when there's smoke, there's fire. And we'll see you guys next week for another monstrous month-ending edition of Music Village. But until then, folks, good night, everybody.